Hi everybody. So in the last video we were talking about this brace that I'm making to go on the bottom skin and how it took me 30 minutes to find the parts. Well, that's what you're seeing here. God, that sucked. So this brace is really only 5 pieces of metal. 3 of which you'll cut in half and they're just symmetrical. And then 2, if you look just to the left of this beam there, well, there's a couple of very thick doublers. I think they're 3/16, sorry, 13/16. I think they're 3/16 thick, so that definitely is a lot of filing down. Anyway, you can see the cross brace across the back skin there. So there's those doublers, the thick doublers, then a small flange behind those, and then a couple of kind of upright angled pieces that come out near the end, and those nuzzle in with the outside ribs. But most of the action of this stiffener is definitely going to be on the outside and across the bottom. So anyway, it's just a bunch of deburring. As you can see, I still have the panel piece, so that's the panel piece on top of the skin. I like to pull it out every once in a while and imagine all the money that's going to have to go into it. Ken's going to come by in a minute and tell me, well, you see where your error was, right? And that would be actually having it out and thinking about it. Oh, Matthew's here. So, we're doing the annual on that plane like I described before. Everything's going good. Matthew could use a haircut. Now, there's nothing specific in his contract about no top knots, but, you know, if he comes in with one, we may have to put it in the clause. Yeah, so it's interesting putting the, I don't know what you call them, kind of the vertical pieces onto this. So there's 2 small ones. Like I said, there's 2 on each side, and they're very small. They're only like 4 inches tall. They go into the sides, not go into the sides, but they lay against the sides of a couple of ribs that will get riveted on later. But how they do it is interesting. But none of that matters. So let's talk about priming, because I'm about to show some. So people have been asking, you know, how do you do the priming? Could you show it to us? Well, okay, I will. First thing you do when I prime, before I prime, is I rub all the pieces down with rubbing alcohol. That gets all the grease, cleans them up. That way the primer doesn't smear off, right? I mean, you know, oil from your skin gets on the metal. You try to spray it with a paint, it might just, you know, it's a petroleum-based product. You don't want it going all over the place. So anyway, yeah, what we're about to do is prime. There you can see. Those are the thick doublers in the back bracket and the main crossbeam. All I do is I take it outside after it's been cleaned. Put on a piece of cardboard. Make sure that there's no car close, downwind, and spray it. And there's the can, the rattle can, up on the skin right there. That's it. There's your priming. It's a self-etching primer, so, you know, instead of having to do Aladyne and Alumiprep, which, you know, preps the metal and then does a light kind of scratch to it before you apply the primer, this just does it all in one. So you really don't have to scuff. Now, if you do scuff the metal, that's great. That will make the primer adhere easier. But at the same time, now you really have to have it covered because the outside of all this metal is, you know, it's laminated, right? That 2024 is laminated, or sorry, 2034, 2020, whatever they give you. It's all laminated with, you know, alloy on it inside, pure aluminum on the outside. That way, the aluminum on the outside can form an oxide barrier and keep the inside safe. Well, if you start scratching through that, yeah, you're gonna need a lot of primer. Anyway, there you can see I'm starting to put on the side braces, which in the next video I will explain. Basically, they want you to just make sure that they're nice and square. before you put them on. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.